I just got through half of my video and realized I did not turn my mic on. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is smokedalive, and today we're going to be doing a first impressions on the LA Girl Pro Coverage Foundation. So I am always up for a new foundation, and I've been hearing a ton about this LA Girl one, especially because of this white shade, which is super cool. So let's get into the details of the foundation. Okay, so I purchased this foundation on the Ulta Beauty website, so I'm going to read everything from there. So this foundation runs for $8.99, which is really, really cheap, a great drugstore price. And there are 7 shades total, including this, not this one, including this white one. So there's only 6 shades, which, that kind of sucks, especially if you have darker skin tone. This is not going to do any good for you. So us fair people, this is cool, but then it kind of defeats the purpose of it being a drugstore foundation, because all of a sudden you're paying $20 to get something that matches your skin. So that is a downfall. But let's get into the description. Okay, so it says, LA Girl's high definition long wear illuminating pro coverage liquid foundation is ideal for flawless looking full coverage finish. Lightweight formula is comfortable for all day wear. Paraben-free formula with added antioxidants, which helps hydrate and improve the skin's appearance. So, purchasing this, I did not realize that it is a full coverage foundation. I'm not a big fan of full coverage foundations, so that is quite a bummer, but we will see how this works on the skin, even though I don't like full coverage. Okay, so let's talk about the packaging real quick, and then we will move on. So this is so similar to the Makeup Forever HD foundation. I honestly think they were highly inspired by them. It looks high-end, but it does not feel high-end. It's very plastic, it's very lightweight, you can feel that it's cheap, but it looks nice. But for a drugstore foundation, I think this is one of the best packaging that has been put out in a while. I really, really like it. It's very sleek and clean. Almost forgot. There is a pump, which is my favorite thing on the planet. I love pumps, so go LA Girl. Okay, so it's going to be lightweight, give me full coverage, and be dewy, and give me a flawless finish. So, since I filmed half of this video without my mic on, I already have the Benefit Professional Primer on my skin. This is my favorite primer that I know works with every foundation, and if this foundation doesn't work with Benefit Primer, it ain't gonna work for me. Okay, so I got the shade Fair, and look at my skin. This is so dark. Now on Ulta it says this is the lightest shade, but I believe Porcelain is a little bit lighter. So that's a bummer, because the second to lightest or the lightest shade and it's this dark, come on girl. So I'm definitely going to have to mix this in with it, because this is pretty darn yellow, so that's kind of a pain. Now I'm going to apply half my face with a Real Technique sponge and the other face with a brush. The other side of my face with the brush. Okay, so I'm going to do half a pump of each. Ooh. It comes out pretty liquidy, actually. And go ahead and do the white. It comes out pretty liquidy. The consistency isn't crazily runny, but it's not crazily thick either. So we're going to go ahead and mix that together. Okay, so now that looks too light. Well, we're just going to try it. Oh no, I think I put too much white in there. See, this is going to be kind of difficult to test out, to figure out like how much you should put in there. I'm going to blend this out with the Real Techniques foundation brush. So we'll have a Real Techniques day, all drugstore. Woo! Oh gosh, I made this way too light for my skin. Oh no! This brush is really nice. I've only used this brush for contour. But I actually really, really like it. I've not liked a brush in a really long time. Okay, so that is not quite enough coverage for me, so I'm just going to do a full pump. Whoa, okay, I did not do a half pump. No wonder why. Okay, so it's building nicely. Okay, so it is just a little bit patchy, not going to lie. So let's see if I like it better with a sponge. So it's not hard to blend, but there's some foundations where you just like push once and it's blend. You kind of gotta move it around. So I think it blends better with a brush. Which I can't believe I am saying that. It is more dewy on the sponge side too. So it's literally like not going on my nose. I'm gonna go over it with the brush to see if that helps. No, the brush makes it worse. So it actually applies better with a beauty blender on your nose. It just does not like my nose. Okay, so it does look super dewy on the camera, but I did open my blinds and go in front of it, and it does not look this dewy. So I honestly think it's the lights. I'm going to go in with my Naked Skin Concealer because it has to blend in good with other concealers, or I am not going to like this foundation. It's getting a little bit cakey with the concealer, honestly. Which probably has to do with the fact that it's a full coverage foundation, and I personally am not a fan of that. I feel like full coverage foundations just add so much texture. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see that like line right there. It's literally just sitting on top of the foundation. It's not blending in with the foundation. So, I don't know, man. Okay, so another thing I'm noticing is I have no redness when I use the brush, but right here I've got redness peeking through with the Beauty Blender, so you get more coverage with the brush. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my makeup, and then I will come back and give you some thoughts of how everything else applied. Okay guys, I am back, and did you guys notice I have red hair? It's kind of hard to tell on this camera, but it is very red, especially when the sun hits it. It's like BAM! So I am super, super dewy, and that is Jeffree Star and Jeffree Star alone. I am not lying. They claim this to be a dewy foundation, but it does not look dewy on me at all. It's actually kind of matte. It accentuates my fine lines, pores, and wrinkles way more than my L'Oreal True Match Lumi, which is like my ride or die. Now, for a full coverage foundation, it does look a lot lighter than some full coverage foundations that I've tried. Like the Kat Von D foundation, it looks horrible on me, and it literally is like magnify? Yeah, it's a what's that thing called? Magnifier or whatever? It literally intensifies everything, and that foundation totally ages me. This one, it intensifies stuff, but not nearly as much that tickles me. So for a full coverage foundation, as far as magnifying everything, it actually does pretty well, but I do not like putting product over it at all. It doesn't blend my concealer well. It didn't sit on my nose, and now it's kind of tacky. And when I applied my contour, it was like the hardest time I've had with contour and blush in a very long time. I don't put powder on my cheeks at all. I just go straight in with my contour. So I don't know if this foundation needs powder all over the face and then do your contour. So I'll have to try that. But honestly, that makes me not want it even more because I don't like matte foundations. I like looking glowy and luminous, and I like my skin looking more natural, even though people say I am not natural. I'm actually pretty natural compared to some YouTubers. Okay. So let's take you in nice and close. Okay, so here it is on my pores, my nose. If you can see, it kind of intensifies them. This little line right here intensifies all of that. It even made my concealer look really weird. My forehead, it intensified all of my lines. It's just not very flattering on me, to be honest with you. I'm gonna zoom you guys back out so you're not so up in my business. So I'm going to be doing one more checkup, and I'm going to wait about 3 more hours just to kind of see if the oils sink into my skin, because some foundations look amazing after a few hours, so we are going to try that. Alright, so I will see you guys back in 3 hours. Hey guys, I am back. It is now 6:11 p.m. It has been on for about 5 hours, and so I think I have my final thoughts. Now, over time, it has gotten better. It looks prettier. It's not sitting on top of my skin as much. It's sunken in. It hasn't faded whatsoever. It is still tacky though, which is very interesting. I haven't had that happen. It's getting a little oily between there, which normally I don't have a ton of, but overall I like it more than I did at the beginning. It's definitely not my favorite foundation that I've tried. I love the L'Oreal one much better, but I do like this one more than the Maybelline Fit Me. I just wish this was a lighter coverage. I feel like if this wasn't as full coverage, I would really, really like it. 'Cause it hasn't gotten worse over the couple hours. It's just kind of gotten a little bit better. So I feel like this is the kind of foundation that's actually going to look better towards the end of the night. If you have a ton of texture and you're not a big fan of full coverage, do not get this. You will not like it. But this is not something I would grab or go for. So let me bring you guys in, and yeah. But I don't know if you guys can tell, it just looks a little bit better on the skin. Like the forehead doesn't look quite as bad to me. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it's just gotten a little bit better, which is nice. I will not repurchase it, but I do feel like for a drugstore foundation and for a full coverage foundation, some of you guys are really, really gonna like this, but this foundation is not for me. It's too thick. Alright guys, I hope my thoughts made sense. I know I feel like I'm kind of teeter-tottering, but I'm not. It's just not for me. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.